Hello, it's Rachel. If you're a fan of workplace comedies, you're probably a fan of Abbott Elementary. For the most part, I adore the show, and I love that it has allowed Quinta to show off her talents to a bigger audience than BuzzFeed did. But there is one aspect of the show that I've had an issue with since the pilot, and unfortunately, that issue has continued to get bigger and bigger as the show has gone on. Ava Coleman is unbearable. Now, before I get into my criticisms, I'm in no way talking about Janelle James. I'm specifically talking about Ava as she is written as a character. I've seen a little bit of Janelle stand up outside of Abbott Elementary, and while from what I recall of it, it's not exactly my humor, but I think she was pretty good, and she seems like a very nice person. And she also gives a great performance as Ava. I just hate the material that these writers give her. Now, from what I can tell, Ava's a fan favorite character, so I've been hesitating to say anything because of that, but after the most recent episode, I cannot hold my tongue any longer about this. So, for anyone behind on the show, the most recent episode that aired November 30th was titled Sick Day, and it featured Janine staying at home after getting food poisoning. And because there's a shortage of substitutes, Ava is forced to be the sub for her classroom. As you'd expect, this causes some chaos, mostly because Ava does not want to follow the guidelines that Janine had set up if she could not be there to teach. In theory, I understand the appeal of characters like this. In some settings, I even enjoy them. But to see a character who's so lazy and incompetent and entitled as the literal principal is so infuriating to me. Like, the only fully positive moment I can think of with regard to her behavior towards students is an episode earlier this season. I can't remember which one it was. But Gregory had sent one of his students to her in the hopes that Ava would discipline that student. And Gregory is frustrated when Ava does not do that. And she explains that kids are often scared when they're sent to the principal's office. So she wants to make them feel better. And I was actually very impressed with her when she was explaining this. But given she frequently is neglectful of her job duties, this could also just be chalked up to her not wanting to fulfill her responsibilities. Her lack of care towards Janine's meticulous instructions also feeds into another reason that I cannot stand Ava. Her constant disrespect of Janine. While I understand it, someone like Janine, who's an eternal optimist, can get annoying, Ava is so rude to her for literally no reason. Like, Janine will just be standing there, existing, and Ava just makes this snarky comment. Like, what the hell is that about? And even after that episode at the end of season 1, where Janine was trying to comfort Ava about her grandmother, like, why is she still being so terrible to her? Learn some manners. But the biggest reason why I cannot fucking stand Ava is because every single fucking interaction that she has with Gregory, she will sexually harass him. Like, every single fucking interaction. I wish that was an exaggeration, but it's not. It is 2022, very nearly 2023. How the fuck are we still finding sexual harassment funny? Like, it's not suddenly funny just because the genders are swapped. I and almost every woman or woman-aligned person that I know has experienced sexual harassment to varying degrees. And best case scenario, it's just a deeply uncomfortable interaction that I'm hoping to leave as soon as possible. But that's rare, and often it feels like an issue of safety. And while granted, I don't think Gregory has any reason to feel physically unsafe around Ava since she knows how to keep her hands to herself, being harassed on probably a daily basis is not harmless. The fact that sexual harassment can be played as a joke, and I'm not just talking about Abbott Elementary, I'm talking about many, many, many different shows and movies, and books for that matter, It means that boundaries aren't taken seriously. And when you start eroding boundaries, rape culture persists a lot easier. Like, if you continually make jokes where someone's consent doesn't matter, where their feelings matter less than yours, you're trivializing sexual assault. Full stop. And I'm sick of seeing shows that are lauded as being progressive, which in many ways I do think Abbott Elementary is a progressive show, and then seeing said progressive shows find humor in men being harassed and assaulted. Stop doing this. If you want to hear more about the topic, I'm going to link a couple of video essays by Pop Culture Detective that he did on the subject of sexual assault towards men in media. Thanks for listening to this rant, and hopefully I'll catch you again later. Bye.